On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, it's a lot of playoff football. Miami, Ole Miss, Oregon, Indiana. Who's winning it all? Is Indiana the clear favorite? We don't know. Maybe. Trinidad Champions is a lot of fun. Winners and losers of the week is back. It's been a while since we've done a segment like that. And then, of course, the NFL playoffs, Jacks, Jaguars, Matt's Eagles. Who's going to win it all? It all kicks off soon. We'll see you guys next.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 234 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. We got a lot of football to preview today. But before we do that, we have our resident Auburn quarterback pessimist in the building. Jack, we got one. Byron Brown. How excited?
What are we doing? Bro, what are the starts of these shows this week? I mean, this is 2 for 2. You're just off. What are we doing?
I need to know, Jack.
I need to know too.
People
Brian.
need to know.
Do you think I know? Nobody knows yet. We haven't seen the man take a snap in orange and blue.
Are you a little bit excited?
No, not even a little bit. Auburn football getting me excited? No shot. No shot. I got to wait until I see it, man.
He threw for 2,000, rushed for 1,000 last year. One of only 3 college quarterbacks to do that.
He's playing at USF.
They had some
They
big
got to
wins.
play North Texas. They beat North Texas.
They had some big wins.
And now he gets to play Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee.
He has played Alabama twice. Almost beat him the first time.
You did almost beat him the first time. Got
Okay.
ugly at the end. I remember that game.
Maybe he has a little bit of extra hate for Alabama. I can get behind that. But Brian, look, realistically, I'm not excited until I can see an Auburn quarterback actually throw a football properly. I'm not excited. I got to see it in the games. And I mean, look, it's one player out of 22 starters. I mean, not including special teams and all that, but offense, defense, we're getting gutted on both sides. This is one guy coming in. It's not exciting for me. Like, it's not like he has Cam Coleman to throw to.
We're the Auburn Bulls right now. We got a lot of talent. It's just all the USF talent.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I can't imagine that in Golish's first year, in this quarterback's first year, I can't imagine that this is going to be a very successful season for Auburn. But, of course, I hope I eat my words.
Him and Stephen Pearl had a great dap when they met. I trust the two coaches leading our programs.
Stephen Pearl's another conversation.
Yeah.
The refs said that.
Definitely. No, I don't have much insight on it. I was just going to say, to bounce off Jack's point, that would be my whole take is like, all right, who's he going to with the ball? If Auburn kept the roster and then added this guy, maybe a little more excitement. But when half the team leaves and then you add this guy, what are you going to do? And when you're like, hey, we're the Auburn Bulls, we got USF's talent. Well, the Sun Belt got an outright bid over the American Conference. So that's all you need to know about how that conference shook out.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will continue to be the resident Auburn pessimist or quarterback pessimist, whatever you want to call me, Brian. But until I can see it, I'm not getting excited for it. I mean, I'm excited for the Jaguars. I'm excited for Auburn basketball, even though we're not having a great season either in the basketball world. So, those teams are going to keep me preoccupied. I don't need to be worried about Auburn football in January when we haven't played in 3 weeks.
Fair. And also, the American did get in. USF didn't have an opportunity to get in, but that's a different conversation. But Tulane got in there.
Oh, Tulane, I forgot. All right.
USF just wasn't one of the top teams there.
It wasn't good enough to get in. All right, I'm mistaken.
But we'll talk about the actual football here. Miami taking on Ole Miss to lead us off in the college football playoff tonight. Ole Miss, Pete Golding is tied for third all time among SEC coaches in playoff wins. So, Lane Kiffin, who?
They don't need him. They got the roster, some pieces in play, or coaches in play. What was this coach? He was the offensive coordinator?
One of the coordinators.
For Ole Miss.
Know. Yeah, he was either offensive or defensive.
I think he was the OC.
I mean, I don't know why this makes sense in my head, but the offensive coordinator transitioning to the head coach, in my head, seems like an easier transition in this circumstance than the defensive coordinator doing that. I don't know why, but in my head, it feels like the easier, and not just because, well, they've won a couple games and now they're in the semifinal. But I mean, they just knocked off Georgia, guys. I know Miami's been Miami, but Ole Miss is nothing to just scoff at here. And look, Miami's got a shot to have a home national championship game. That's another crazy headline, but I love what Ole Miss is doing, and they have the chip with the whole Lane Kiffin fiasco.
I'm shocked. Just looking at the semifinals here in this college football playoff, I'm just shocked that either Miami or Ole Miss is going to be punching their ticket to the national championship. I mean, that alone shocks me. And then when you come into the game and you're looking at the preview, I'm looking at this Miami team, and I just see Texans written all over them. I mean, they've got a good defense. They've got the quarterback who is way overhyped. So you put up 20 points a game, but that's enough. So I still think they're going to get it done. I would hope Ole Miss gets this done. SEC pride. I'm going to be rooting for Ole Miss. And I love this. I love the story, right? Lane Kiffin, he's off, he's out, and they're still going to get it done. Reminds me of that wrestler a couple years ago for Stanford. Stanford cut the wrestling program, but they still sent a kid to nationals. He ended up winning the whole damn thing, and then didn't have a team to play for next year. Wore like a black singlet, didn't wear the school colors. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Ole Miss is like, I don't care who's leaving us, what we got going on. We're still showing up, and we're getting it done.
I love the Lane Kiffin revenge factor angle. And there has to be something to be said for Ole Miss being like, well, fuck you, we're just going to do it without you. But the part of my brain is that kind of hates that too, is Lane Kiffin's getting paid every time they win. He's going to make $2.5 million if Ole Miss wins this college football playoff, which the kids don't care about. But Lane Kiffin, at the end of the day, he's mad about it. But how mad can you be when you're getting paid $1 million if they win this game? Yeah,
that's behind the scenes. We're looking at what's on the surface, and Ole Miss winning without Lane Kiffin. That's all that everybody's seeing. Well, what's under the table with money and this and that? Who cares?
Yeah, you don't know what's going on with the money. You also don't know, is he, in the ears? I mean, this is the team he was just with the entire season.
No way. I think
what gives the money to Lane Kiffin? Does it go to Ole Miss? Does it go to Ole Miss, and then that's how that was supposed to go? Was it to Lane Kiffin, but he left, so it's at the school's discretion?
No,
there's no details here, Brian.
There is. I forget how they structured the contract. It's either LSU is paying Kiffin for Ole Miss doing well, or Ole Miss is paying LSU, who then pays Kiffin for Ole Miss doing well. But he made $500,000 for their first round win, $750,000 for their last round win, $1 million if they win this game, and then it win another $1 million if they win the championship. Or it might have been $250,000, $500,000, $7.5.
Is this?
No.
So how does that work like that? But then we had the report a week or two ago of Miami getting $14 million from the ACC. What's the difference there?
That's like the NCAA giving money to the conferences for their,
and the conference discretion saying, hey, we're just going to give it all that. Why would we want to make our conference stronger? Let's give it to Miami.
Yeah, this is just where college football is, where there's so much money flying around and no one knows where it's going.
Millions of dollars, too, by the way.
Millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if Trinidad Chambliss has another year of eligibility, but either way, he'll make money in the NFL because what he's doing in this college football playoff, he's honestly been my favorite part to watch, at least in the last round. Just running around making plays. He's Johnny Manziel, light-skinned Johnny Manziel.
I was going to say, let's not start talking about college NIL payments compared to NFL rookie contract payments, because some of these college players are earning more than the NFL players. So why would you go to the NFL is a better question.
Yeah, unless you're a first-round pick, which that's a whole nother issue.
Carson Beck getting paid more than Puka Nacua. Make that make sense.
He's not even the best quarterback. He's probably the fourth best quarterback in this college football playoff right now.
It's insane.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Brian, but who's like an all-pro caliber guy? Maybe not all-pro, but someone who's just exceeding expectations that went super late in the draft, that's on their rookie deal, getting paid. They signed the 4-year, $3 million contract, getting paid $600,000 or $700,000 or whatever that math equates out to, and these guys are doing that. Insane.
Yeah, it's
I don't know who a good comparison would be.
I mean, Puka would be
Puka's probably the best.
Yeah,
Puka's a great one. I mean, he's literally on any given week the best receiver in the league, and he's getting paid less per game than Carson Beck.
Absolutely wild. I mean, it's Carson Beck, Trinidad Chambliss in this game, Mark Fletcher, sure, Malachi Tony, sure, Lacey on the Ole Miss side, but it's going to come down to Chambliss versus Carson Beck, and that's why I kind of want to back Ole Miss, even though they're the underdog. But I want to see Chambliss versus Fernando Mendoza so bad.
so do I. And I don't know if they're going to come to a decision or how it's going to play out, but I want them to hold off granting Chambliss his 6th year of eligibility if they haven't already, because I want him to play with that edge, that chip on his shoulder of maybe this is his last run. If they grant him the 6th year, psychologically, he can say he's locked in all he wants, but psychologically, he loses the edge a little bit. So I want that decision to come after this playoff run. Stay locked in. No distractions.
It's a good call.
Yeah, it's so weird, and we could get into, but Ty Simpson just declared for the NFL draft, and I think he's going to be the 3rd quarterback for some reason. Dante Moore might not want to go to the draft because the Jets would draft him, so he's threatening to stay at school. Chambliss, I don't know where he would land, but it seems like the best option would be to stay. But either way, I think he just wants to ball out and win this to spite Lane Kiffin and to get himself a national championship.
For sure. But we'll see what happens, man. I think we need to we talk a lot about Ole Miss. It sounds like we're definitely going to be leading Ole Miss for how much we've won against the Canes this playoff. But I mean, why are they here, Brian? How did we get here?
Ole Miss
With
or Miami? You're talking Miami?
Yeah.
Well,
Defense.
I tried to. So yeah, the defense was, when we were talking about that game just being obnoxiously bad against A&M. I was trying to be a voice of reason, but even myself was like, well, that was just ugly. But their defense has been really good. They play this brand of bend or break defense. Their edge rusher is going to be like a top 4 pick in the draft this year. But they just don't give up touchdowns. But then on the other side, when you have Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss going up and down, that's where can they keep them out of the end zone? But Miami also has Mark Fletcher's been running up and down the field, and Malachi Tony, he might be a star, even though I'll still go back to the fact that Tony that plays college football in Florida. But he's a lot of fun. I'll be betting his anytime touchdown in this game. He's just fun to watch. They have players across the board, but just never really came together before the college football playoff. It's like kind of college basketball where the team's just peaking at the right time.
Sounds like the Jaguars.
Knock on wood for you. I'm in this with you, Jack. We got to be careful.
All right, should we make some picks for this game before we jump over to the other side?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. My heart is telling me Ole Miss, but my head's telling me Miami. So
you can't get rid of Mr. Chalk.
I'm going Ole Miss. I'm going.
Wow.
SEC.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss, not because of SEC. I hope all of their SEC programs die in these playoffs. I don't care about the conference pride.
I do.
I am rooting for Ole Miss because they do have a national championship in 1960 that was given to them by the Football Writers Association of America. And we all know pre-BCS championships don't really count. Look at Auburn claiming like 12. So Miami is the last team in this playoff to have an actual national championship. If we don't get one, we'll have the first-time winner in forever. So because of that, and because of Trinidad Chambliss, I'm rooting for Ole Miss. I want to see someone new.
Yeah, and we're kind of getting that regardless, I think.
Miami has 5, but their last was in 2001.
Well, new in terms of what we've seen the last decade, I guess.
Yeah,
is a better way to put it.
It's been 24 years.
Yeah, exactly. It feels new, but yeah, man. I mean, Miami, they're favored for a reason. They got a chance to play at home. They have all this momentum, so much momentum going, and the defense is so electric. I think Mario Cristobal just has them playing well. I faded them all playoff, and I want to pick them so bad, but for me, it boils down to this. I was raised a Roman Catholic. I fear God. I believe in God. I go to church on Sundays. I am Catholic. I don't root for convicts, and that won't be happening here. I don't want the points. You can keep them. Give me Ole Miss on the money line. Is it roll Rebels? Let's go Rebels.
Roll Rebs?
I don't know. What's there? You guys are SEC.
They like do a shark thing. What is Ole Miss?
No, it's the Rebels.
It is the Rebels,
Rebels.
but they like the shark is their mascot.
I'm not familiar
One
with
of those
that.
where it's like Alabama, but like the elephant's a mascot.
Oh, it's Hotty Toddy. I'm mad at myself for not remembering that.
Either way.
I thought that was a Tennessee thing.
No, that's
Brian, I thought you were
Rocky
Mr.
Top.
SEC here.
That's Rocky Top. I was gonna say Rock Chalk, but that's Kansas. There's too many
They are.
similarities.
We're all over the place here.
Yeah, all that is chalk.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me Ole Miss on the money line. Keep the points. They're
God,
getting
I
it done.
know.
Squad riding Ole Miss, baby.
It
I
is
know our
it is-
guy AY who is not on Bull Miss this year, and we promise you that wasn't because of our hate for Miami, but he's just listening to this so mad right now.
He probably, yeah. Sorry, AY. We love you, brother.
I love the disclaimer. I promise you that's not because we hated Miami.
All right, the second game here, Indiana, Oregon. I talked about we're probably going to have a first-time champion if Miami doesn't win, but Oregon's been there. They lost in 2011, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
They lost in 2015. This is their third time's the charm chance, but they got to get through Indiana, who's just been a wagon.
They have been a wagon. Miami, I know that they've had success as a program in the past, but at least in my lifetime, it really just feels like Oregon is the only relevant team out of these four. So going off of what you're saying earlier, want to see someone new. I would love to see Oregon kick a can. I mean, especially with Dan Lanning, who I've been becoming less and less of a fan of. I'm not a fan of the fact that they got the unlimited NIL and the stupid freaking jerseys. So I'm not an Oregon fan. I'm also not really an Indiana fan, but shout out Zach, shout out Signetti. I'll ride with the Hoosiers.
It's hard. It's really hard to go against Indiana. I will say, and I know the game was in Eugene and they still lost early in the season, but Oregon does have a lot of playmakers coming back. Ja'Cory Moore is 5-star receiver. He didn't play in that game. He's back in this game. So Dante Moore will have a lot more options to throw to. And that does help Oregon because Indiana's not going to let you run the ball. A good running football team isn't going to run the ball on them. And the team that can't run the ball like Alabama is just cooked. And we saw that in the last round. But Oregon wants to throw. They want to let Dante Moore kind of have that extension of the run game like Shedeur Sanders used to do with Colorado, where he's throwing the screen passes, short passes. So I think that helps Oregon a little bit here. And if there's a coach that can get his team hyped up enough to go against the Kurt Cinetti, it is Dan Lanning. How hateable he might be. So I want to take Oregon with the points here, but I just don't see a path where Indiana loses.
Hold on, guys. I know I'm getting a call from one of our Indiana. Is this Mr. Indiana on the phone right now?
We got the Hoosiers in the Peach Bowl in the semifinals. Yo, Jeff.
You're not going to be able to hear. I thought you were just going to go on the
He
rant.
just cut
He just
out.
broke up.
Dude, I mean, this team was so disrespected all year. They are just so not talented in the media perception. 72 72nd ranked team based on talent. No one respected us. No one. We almost lose to Iowa at Iowa. Who doesn't go in close games at Iowa? That's just adversity, dude. Mendoza. The team is electric. Signetti is the best coach in college history. Google
College history?
If you disagree, Google the fucking record. And, dude, we're going to smoke that fucking duck Friday night.
Smoke the duck. All right, let's get one Hoosier before we get you out of here.
Yo, Hoosiers, by the way, parlay of the day. Flyers, Stanley Cup, Indiana, Navy champs, and the Birds, Super Bowl champs. You heard it first. God bless. Go Hoosiers.
We'll see.
We appreciate the phone in there.
We got the phone in, and I was
Awesome
talking.
calling.
Yeah, dude, we need. I wish we had that more of it. I was talking today to Brian about it. I'm like, or not Brian, to Zach, and I'm like, dude, Brian works behind the glass. He's on the radio. Like, Brian, how do we not have a live phone line where we just tweet out or tell people, hey, we're accepting calls for 5 minutes? That would be electric. There's got to be a way, StreamYard or whatever can do that, but that would be awesome. Not that we have to brainstorm it now, but that would be electric.
I think we have to be live streaming for that, but maybe that's something we.
Could you guys hear him pretty clear there or not? Or no?
Yeah.
In and out, yeah.
Enough for where it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I heard him say my name at one point, and I really wanted to catch that, but I didn't.
He said, Jack, are you still scared of the Hoosiers?
I'm definitely afraid of the Hoosiers.
Because I guess you were like tweeting at him, or you were tweeting like you tweeted Matt and Brian. Are you scared or whatever? So
That's a good one.
He's holding the receipts. But I guess that leaves me. And look, Dan Lanning, I don't know how, dude, this guy's a psycho. This is the most psychotic coach in college. And it's going to be tough, I think, for Indiana to beat a guy like that twice in one season. I know it's a neutral site. I know it's weeks, months removed. I think months, at least a month, over a month, probably 2 months removed from when they played in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, by the way, Pacific Northwest team here.
Thought we already had one win, right?
I don't think we did. That came out of the left field. Didn't mean for it to, but
boy,
glad
Who
I
won
caught
the
that.
NHL last year? Did the Oilers not
Seattle
finally win?
Kraken. No, they lost in Game 7.
Panthers, baby.
Oh, the Panthers did. Yeah, I guess we haven't had one.
Panthers went back to back, and I thought we made some stipulation where we said Oregon football counts, but everything else doesn't. Or
I think I just caved and said college sports count.
Either way, something that's just flown under the radar until the national semifinal. Can't believe we forgot, but we did it because it just got brought up.
Uh-oh.
But anywho,
That game was October 11th, by the way.
October 11th. Yeah. Good thing I couldn't remember how long ago it was and if it was month or months. But months removed from playing in the Pacific Northwest. Dan Lanning, I think, is going to have a game plan. He's going to be ready to go. And 3.5 is a tight enough spread. Tight enough spread to where it feels like Oregon's going to cover, but come on, man. I smoked cigs in college. I'm a Coach Sig guy. I'm all in on the sure. I'll take Indiana on the money line. It's the team of destiny. They look locked in. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter where. Coach Sig has his team playing at a high level. He wants it all. He's here for all the glory. He's not just here to say they got here and it's a great season like Auburn basketball did last year. No, he's here to take all the marbles in South Florida and win a national championship. Give me Coach Sig on a contract extension year. Bang!
Yeah, Kurt
Earn
Signetti.
that money, baby.
Zach mentioned the record of his claim that Signetti was the best
of all-time college sports.
He's 44-6 in the FBS. In total, he's 130-37. So there's a lot of wins there.
That's pretty incredible. I got to give him some credit for that. But he said that, and I started thinking about the Sabins of the world, real quick like that. And I was like, how are we having this conversation?
There's a chance in 6 years maybe he can make a claim for second best, but it's going to be really hard to knock Nick Saban off that pedestal.
Yeah. I think the best comparison to give them is just their well-oiled machine playing I know you can talk about, the talent Saban had, but in terms of the philosophy playing disciplined, locked in, Signetti up 38-3, and he looks pissed. I mean, that's
It
that's
looks
saving
like
all the way.
It looks like, yeah, exactly. And I'll even take it a step further. I think it looks like a well-oiled Belichick and Brady team. I mean, they really they don't make mistakes. Like, you got to do everything right to beat them because they're not making mistakes.
Well, that quarterback, Mr. Mendoza, may be on a team with Tom Brady as the owner after the season ends.
That might happen.
Hey,
That's likely happening.
That's Heisman Mendoza to you, Brian.
Mendoza, yeah, that killed me. I mean, who knows? Maybe down the line, Sig Daddy takes a job in Oakland or Vegas. Wow. Dated myself there.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Why stop now?
Is that the best product we get in the championship, Ole Miss versus Indiana?
I think Miami, Indiana would be fun.
Or is Oregon, Indiana the real national championship?
I honestly, I think all four can win.
Yeah.
I definitely think either Miami or Ole Miss can beat Oregon. If Indiana gets by Oregon, it's going to be hard to find a path where either Ole Miss or Miami.
It feels like Oregon's the only team that can beat Indiana, right? Like, Indiana beats Oregon. Whatever that spread is against Ole Miss or Miami is going to be bigger than the 3.5. Would that be
probably? Because if Indiana beats Oregon, it's most likely another not beat down, but just great performance. I don't see a world where Indiana struggles and they still win. I think if they struggle, Dan Lanning kind of takes that and upsets them, or it's close, and then you can kind of find a path for Ole Miss or Miami. But my brain's telling me Indiana's going to roll and Indiana's going to win it all.
Yeah, I have the same kind of mindset. Winner of Oregon, Indiana, I think takes the title, but we'll see, man. I mean, this has been, I think what college football fans have been kind of, at least for me, who's kind of on the outside, don't have a diehard team to root for. I mean, we want fun. It's been Alabama for how many years? Clemson trickled in, like consistency of the same team. We finally have some variety. And, I'm just, even though Indiana's a wagon and they're steamrolling, at least we haven't seen them.
It should have been Texas Tech, too. It should have been Indiana, Texas Tech, Miami, and Ole Miss.
We didn't have to bring up Texas Tech.
Look, I don't mean as far as how
that.
that game went. I'm just saying they mash up with Oregon. If it went a different way, we could have had 4 teams in there that you really never see.
Jack, we don't disturb the dead. We don't disturb the dead.
Pew pew.
Rest in peace.
Never again.
Rest in peace. I mean, that defense is elite, and they just got the best quarterback in the portal. So we'll see next year. We might
already bought back in.
Could have been early. Could have been early. Could have been just early, but we're not wrong. Don't disturb the dead.
I'll be very disappointed if they turn out to win it next year after.
It would be very on brand for us.
I mean, it happened with the Thunder.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Thunder and other sports, we've talked a lot of football the last couple of weeks. Haven't really had time to incorporate our other segments, but happy to report it's the return of our winners and losers.
Wow. Boom. We haven't had this in a little while.
Yeah, it's been probably at least a month with Ole Miss and the time off we took and NFL season wrapping up, college football playoff. Jack, since I know how much you love segments on this show, you want to start us off with your winner of the week?
Yeah, sure.
Jack is Mr. Segment.
Yeah, they're my favorite. All right. My winner of the week is going to be Mike Tomlin and the Ravens fans.
Now, how does that correlate?
Because Mike Tomlin and the Steelers won the game. He gets to keep his job. But Steelers fans are pissed because they know they just got another year, the same old shit. Ravens fans, they're happy. They knew that with this team, they were not winning a Super Bowl this year. Pack it in, get the coach fired, get somebody new in the building, and now you can go restart, your road to glory. Because, look, as much as I love Tomlin, as much as I love Harbaugh, as much as I love some of the older veteran coaches, sometimes they just lose it. And look, the game evolves. You need to evolve with it. You need to keep the energy in it. You need to keep the focus in there, the time, the attention. And a lot of the older guys, you just don't see that, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love Liam Cohen. He's young, he's hungry, he just wants it. He wants it so much more than a lot of the other coaches in the league, and you can just see that. So, Mike Tomlin, he's going to be the winner for keeping his job, for getting another 500 season, for going to the playoffs yet again. And then the Ravens fans are going to be the winners because they might actually have a future.
Yeah, I kind of knew where you're going with that, but you should have added Giants fans into that winner of the week because I'm already getting my fan fiction on about John Harbaugh head coaching the New York Giants and Cliff Kingsbury coming to be the OC. And the New York Giants becoming a wagon.
Sure. I mean, that's a stretch because y'all ain't done any of that yet. But okay.
I can at least – other teams can at least now see John Harbaugh on the market and Kevin Stefanski, really. And they're like – it's very rare that you look at the head coaches that were fired and you can see at least a couple that are like, well, you know, they're pretty good coaches. And Harbaugh, like you said, his time in Baltimore, he overstayed by about 5 years. But he's still a good coach.
If I zoned out a little bit right there, I heard Harbaugh and didn't get much of the rest. But if I'm the New York Jets, I don't care that I just hired Aaron Glenn or whatever the hell the guy's name is. If you want to say, hey, man, you could have a role on the staff, I am calling John Harbaugh and offering him whatever he wants. You want to change the team, change the culture, change the outlook. New York Jets say, hey, John, what do you need? You want to be the highest paid coach in the NFL? Not a problem. Here you go. Come change our culture. Bring us back. Limited history of winning, but bring us back to the 2009-2010 Jet days. I don't know how anybody would say no. I don't know how anybody would say no. Guy would change the culture.
You sign Harbaugh, retain Justin Fields, and you run the Baltimore offense.
I mean, I'm saying no. I'm saying no, and I'm not even a Jets fan.
So you're rolling with Aaron Glenn, who isn't an X's and O's guy, who isn't really that technical when it gets to football like that. He's a emotion, hype beast, does the Michael Jackson dance on the sideline.
Jack is a on-record Aaron Glenn guy.
Look, after seeing what he was able to do this year, I'm not a big fan of him as a head coach in this league.
Defensive-minded guy, team had 0 interceptions.
Yeah, right. But I just don't know how bringing in Harbaugh does that for you. I mean, here's the thing:
it changes the culture. We don't know.
That's what the hope would be, right? But the thing is me as a Jags fan, coming from this experience with Doug Peterson not too long ago, he was the guy that was supposed to come in and change the culture. He won a Super Bowl in Philly. He coached there for a long time. He did the right things.
He did.
And then he comes down to Jacksonville and he just mailed it in. That's what I would hate to see for Jets fans, for them to go through this whole thing, get Harbaugh, and then he's mailing it in. Because I feel like that's what we saw the past few years in Baltimore. Not that he mailed it in, but we weren't getting the new ideas, the new play call, and the innovation that you see from some of the other coaches.
See, this isn't a knock on Jacksonville because, again, I'm in this ride with you. I want them to win the Super Bowl.
This isn't a knock. Sounds like a huge knock is coming.
No, it's really like so Doug Peterson going to Florida to end his career. It's a lot easier to mail it in, especially when there's a smaller market there than it would be in New York. Like if Harbaugh goes to New York, I don't think he's going there to mail it in because he's going to have to listen to reporters talk his ear off.
That's a media headache. That is not a mail it in city.
Like you can, but it feels like if he truly wanted to mail it in, he'd go to Vegas or he'd go somewhere. He's not going to have to deal with everything.
And we'll see. He's still undecided here, right? He got 7 phone calls within an hour of being fired by the Ravens. Apparently one of them included. Well, they said he got 7 calls and there's 7 available head coaching spots, including the Ravens. So even the Ravens called to say, hey, you forgot something, or a team called twice.
It's probably Lamar Jackson asking to be taken with him.
Honestly, not every team that didn't make the playoff, their coaching position is vacant. But, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins called just a call.
Oh, I mean, yeah, well, now I told you they love McDaniel down there.
Dude, I know you said Tomlin was a winner, but the Steelers could call. Like if they get blown out by the Texans, Tomlin's not safe, I don't think.
And they would bring in Harbaugh to replace Tomlin, Brian? What are you smoking?
Can you imagine how mad the Ravens fans would be? That would ignite the rivalry even more than it already is.
Brian, I think that would ignite every NFL fan, period. I don't know who would be happy about that. Steelers fans, Ravens fans, anybody.
If the Ravens brought in like Tomlin, that would never happen.
That or if
Tomlin
the Steelers,
gets fired,
or
goes to the
the
Ravens,
Steelers brought in
Harbaugh
Harbaugh.
goes
I
to
mean,
the
either
Steelers.
way.
It's not happening.
Either way. I mean, what are we talking about?
Not happening.
That's like Derek Jeter going to the Red Sox for his final year of his career.
Both
Johnny Damon played on both.
Johnny Damon's different. He got a big ass bag.
Kobe
too.
Ellsbury.
Same thing. I'm talking last year of your career. Like these guys are sort of at their end, Tomlin and Harbaugh.
I don't see it. I'd be very shocked.
Tomlin, yes. Harbaugh, no.
And like
Harbaugh's got some football left.
Tomlin, like they're not the same. They're not the same coach, but like I don't know. Did the Ravens fans have some Harbaugh fatigue? I already talked about it.
Yeah.
Did the Tomlin, Steeler fans have some Tomlin fatigue? We talked about it last show.
Yeah, didn't you say that they should just swap coaches on the last show, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would say.
I don't see it. I think
there's a world where the Steelers fire Tomlin if they lose in the playoffs, and Zach Taylor's the last remaining head coach in the AFC North. Who would have thought that?
Who's coming back, by the way, next year?
That's another one where it's like, oh, hey, John, probably didn't expect this call.
I don't know what dirt he has. Maybe the Bengals owner is on the Epstein list, and Zach Taylor knows that. But that's the only thing I can think of because that guy should not be employed as a head coach.
I think Burrow likes him.
Is this approaching Brandon Staley levels or worse?
No, because the Chargers were just a train wreck. The Bengals, at least.
I think Staley was actually losing the Chargers games. Like the Chargers would fight and put up a good game, like a good performance, and then Staley
blowing it at the end
to blow the game. Versus the Bengals, like I don't think Zach Taylor really does anything.
Yeah, he went to a Super Bowl. It's kind of like with Stefanski won a playoff game with the Browns.
It's like Ty Lue coaching LeBron.
Yeah,
that's actually that's a good call.
Zach Taylor's next on my axe list, which I thought he would be right there with Stefanski.
You've been calling for his head for years.
I mean, Stefanski mainly this year. A little bit.
Zach Taylor, you've been calling for his head.
Zach Taylor's been for years. Stefanski this year, which somebody over the Browns organization listened.
Sean McDermott, you've been calling for his head too.
Dion to Cleveland?
No. God. That would be a major publicity stunt, and it would be the worst thing. The guy coaches at Colorado, and they stink.
They suck. Yeah, no, Shedeur needs to grow up at some point in his career, too. He can't have his dad coaching him the whole time.
Yeah, grow up and kind of, needs to stop, and I get it, the whole, the personality and, but, there's still something that's very childish about him. I think that's why he slipped in the draft.
Oh, for sure.
So
he's definitely better at football than people think.
Yeah, for sure. But again, you're drafting the player and you're also drafting the personality. He could be, and maybe he already have. I don't watch Shedeur interviews, but is he a guy who's throwing the offensive line under the bus? Is he a guy who's throwing wide receivers under the butt? Or is he taking the accountability, taking the blame on himself? He's not that guy.
And
He's quick to throw the blame.
What if no one's showing up to his birthday party like Bo Callahan?
It's things to think about.
Bo didn't have brothers and a dad that made headlines, though.
He's a fictional character, Brian.
He still can have brothers.
Let me have this one.
Is the Shedeur saga? Isn't his brother on the Buccaneers, or is that his cousin?
His brother, Shiloh.
Is he still on the team?
I think so.
I don't know.
So is this the big baller brand of the NFL?
Hopefully for their family.
Yeah, it is.
Dion's LeVar.
It is. Yes, exactly.
It's a great comparison.
Didn't LeVar lose a leg?
Dion doesn't have any toes or he has a foot.
Yeah.
I don't think LeVar lost a leg. I feel like we would have heard
he
about that.
He hurt his leg or something like that. There was definitely some kind of injury.
Like an amputated leg. I don't remember hearing about that.
LeVar Ball leg. Yeah, he had his right leg amputated below the knee in early 2025.
Below the knee. Okay. Oh, in 2025.
Didn't Dion have all his toes cut off?
He had at least a couple. Similarities are there.
It's insane. Just
Right.
need someone to emerge as a rapper.
Brian, who's your winner of the week?
Oh, me.
I don't care. Just move on.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, you got it, Brian. I'll wrap it up.
My winner of the week is Wrexham. I'm sure a lot of people
Soccer
are
club?
familiar with Wrexham AFC's journey up the English table, English league.
The table would be each
Pyramid?
individual. The pyramid is what you're looking for.
Yeah, they're looking the pyramid. I almost got there. They're looking to become the first ever team to secure 4 consecutive promotions. And they're pretty damn close. They've won 4 matches in a row. They're a game off of the playoffs for the championship. 4 points, or a point off of the playoffs. 4 points off of an automatic promotion. And they're looking to secure more talent in the transfer window, not the transfer portal, the transfer window in January. They're preparing a 14 million euro offer for a top striker. They're looking at a big defender. It didn't say. I guess they're keeping it under wraps.
Here's the deal, not to cut you off, Brian. The European rumors, especially transfer rumors, like there's certain sources you have to trust. And dude, these rumors get thrown around like I don't even know the comparison, but they are Fugazi on how rumors get thrown around.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I'm sure they'll secure talent in the window. The point of this is this is kind of unheard of in the sports. I mean, there's not really an American comparison for it. I guess the best comparison would be if minor league baseball wasn't affiliated ball and it was just teams trying to get to the major leagues, it'd be like an Atlantic League team securing a promotion to single A, then double A, then triple A, and on the cusp of going up to the major leagues.
Right.
Because that's how far they were in the National League, which wasn't really in the pyramid. They had to win that league to get to League 2 to then get to League 1. And once they got to League 1, everyone was like, well, they're probably not. Now you're actually going to play teams that were in the championship, good teams. You're going to be stuck there for a while. They finished second there. Now they're in the championship where you had Premier League teams that went down. So you have good talent there, and they're about to possibly move up to the Prem. So it's just it's crazy what they're doing right now.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the only reason I say about the rumors though is because Arsenal is linked to every top target, every window, and they literally signed 0. Nobody. Well, they've been better as of late, but it's been brutal.
Wrexham's goalkeeper Arthur Ekwangwa was an Arsenal backup, I believe. He might get a chance to play against Arsenal if they get promoted.
He might, man. I mean, if they secure automatic promotion, that would just be unbelievable. But even just a playoff appearance would also be unreal. But crazy story, man.
And yeah, it's a lot easier when you have the backing of Deadpool and Rob McElhenney.
I was going to say, if you have money backing you, it helps. But putting that aside, it is cool. But like, again, that is so very true. Like, if you're just dumping money into every team every year, and not that they have unlimited funds, but they have a lot of funds, does it tarnish it a little bit?
A little bit, but like Tom Brady has a team and they're not doing as well. So there is something to be said for the players and Phil Parkinson, the manager, winning games or matches and getting there. But yeah, just a quick shout out to Wrexham. So just cool to see. And especially Americans taking over across the pond.
It is. More Americans means Premier League to the U.S., Brian.
If Wrexham makes it to the Prem, they'll definitely play a game. That's where I'll draw the line and be like, all right.
A year ago, you literally were like, never happening.
Well, if it's Wrexham, yeah, I'm sure Ryan Reynolds would love to have his whole family come watch them play in LA.
We had La Liga confirmed, and then, they backed out of the deal last second. It was literally confirmed for a match, and then they backed out. Yeah. I think.
Wrexham will play. That's where I'll concede.
We play NFL games in England, multiple different teams. Why can't we get one Premier League game? There's 38 of them.
They don't
There's
need to.
18
Again, we're going to talk in circles again.
That's the
whole thing-
NFL?
Yeah.
No,
They
Why?
need to grow the game. They're trying
Why?
to grow the game.
they
They're
don't
trying to
need.
get NFL
no,
Europe
no,
into
no,
NFL
no.
Africa.
You use the word need. They
Right.
don't need
Thank
to.
you, Jack.
They want to. We're American. We're capitalists.
Yes.
We want more money. We want it. That's why we're over there. They don't want to be over here. A lot of those people don't even like America.
Right.
Okay, I guess that's
Difference between want and need there.
Yeah.
in the
Thank
eyes of the NFL, they need to grow the game. That's Roger Goodell's whole
They
mission.
want to grow the game.
They
Football is not
want to
dying.
grow it for money. Yes, it's not dying. There's
Yeah,
I mean, I will say maybe in like the next, I don't know, 40 to 50 years would be my ridiculously arbitrary timetable. But maybe in the next 40 to 50 years, enough Americans are like, yeah, we're not playing football anymore. These guys just get CTE at 35 and, don't last. And it might trend that way. And then if that is the case, maybe we do only get players from out of the country. But we're talking ridiculousness now, Brian.
well, it won't happen while we're doing this podcast, but at some point in time, it's going to be flag football, and the game of football is going to be gone.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I'll worry about that when that.
I don't
day-
think that's going to happen.
It
I'll
will.
worry about that when that day comes.
All right, Matt, your winner of the week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head over to the NHL, get a little ice hockey going here, as we haven't talked a lot of puck this year, but I'm gonna go with my winner of the week as Trevor Zegras, who scored 2 goals Tuesday night for the Flyers in his first game against his former team, the Anaheim Ducks, who gave up on him, traded him away quickly. I don't know if you saw he did the hang-up celebration after he scored his first goal last night. Maybe it was the second goal. Was on a hat trick watch for a while, but apparently they broke the news to him and then hung up on him. So about him being traded. So yeah, pretty awesome stuff. First game against your former team that, kind of disrespected you a little bit. 2 goals and a win. It's good stuff. I don't know if you guys definitely didn't watch that game, but insane atmosphere. There was freaking 10 penalties and power plays and fights and cheap shots and pretty nuts
I
hockey.
love
game.
that.
Pretty entertaining.
Sounds like the revenge game wasn't just for him, but the whole squad wanted to get involved and give it to the Ducks. Big
Well,
F you.
They did, and I'm glad I went last year because I'm going to transition into the loser of the week because I'm going to keep it into the same game. It's going to be Cutter Gauthier, who the Flyers drafted 5th overall back in 2022, who refused to play for the Flyers, forced the trade, and the Ducks are now 0-3. Cutter Gauthier especially 0-3 against the Flyers with another loss Tuesday. He did score a goal last night or 2 nights ago. Flyers still won 5-2, but drafted 5th. I think it was still kind of undisclosed of why I didn't want to play here. Either way, drafted 5th overall. He is a good player, but 0-3 against the Flyers, forced to trade. I don't know if you watch the broadcast, you hear the FU Cutter chants from the Philly crowd. It was loud. It was rocking. Yeah,
As expected.
Guy forced the trade. He's 0-3 against us. So, FU Cutter.
I'm really curious why he didn't want to play for you guys, but yeah, I mean, we see it happen sometimes in different sports. That's wild, though.
Yeah.
Shout out the Flyers.
What do you mean?
I guess
Brian?
Cats
Well-
and back-to-backs. I'm fine.
Yeah, I guess I don't hate the Flyers as much as Gritty's
You're-
cool. I like
You're
Gritty.
just not a hockey guy, dude.
Not really.
you're
Last time
like-
I watched the Ducks
you're-
play was on Disney Plus.
Yeah, you're a playoff hockey guy, and that's okay.
Was it the Mighty Ducks?
Yep.
All right, Brian, what's your loser of the week?
My loser of the week, unfortunately, this one hurt me. College basketball. It's a mess. The game that we love is slowly dying. John Calipari had a great presser the other day. Just basically, the point of it was if you put your name in the draft, you cannot play college basketball. Then he said, well, unless you're in Europe. It turns out that's not even the case anymore because we have a guy on Baylor that was drafted in 2023, James Najee. He is playing for Baylor. So if you get drafted, you can apparently play college basketball now. And Trenton Flowers, who just got waived by the Bulls, is pursuing a job. I guess it's a job now in college basketball, and teams are interested. And they're fighting that legal battle. So it's just all a complete mess.
It's a mess, man. I mean, I know you can relate, Brian. Like, it's not the same anymore, man. It doesn't hold that same feeling that that I grew up loving, man, and preferred over the NBA, which I still do. But that's been tarnished a little bit. That's taken a step back. It's this year has definitely felt different, and whether you want to say Villanova's been a big beneficiary of that. They have been. They're 12-2, playing again tonight. Hopefully, to go 13-2. But just like it doesn't feel legit, dude.
No,
like it just don't feel legit. It's not legit, man. Guys are in and out, rotated around. It's just
become the NBA, essentially. It's professional basketball now.
It's a semi-pro league.
Yeah, it is a semi-pro. It's just terrible, too. I mean, for all of the reasons you guys said, but also, I don't know about you guys, but I remember being a high school athlete with aspirations of playing some college sports. And could you imagine being a senior in high school? You're getting ready to go play some college basketball, and you got to compete against a 25-year-old guy who's already played 2 years in the NBA. Like, what are we doing? I'm 18 years old. I'm just coming out of high school. You want me to go against a guy 7 years older than me with professional experience? Like, this just doesn't even make sense. So I feel the worst for the young guys that are just trying to make a college basketball roster. And of course, there's always going to be the prep schools, or you can go D3 and work your way up, or JUCO, whatever it might be. But it's just terrible, for a kid who grew up with dreams of playing ball at UNC or Duke, something like that. You can't. You got to be an absolute specimen, or you got to be 25 years old.
Yeah, and that's just like now you got to go to like the Ionas of the world or these mid-majors, and then eventually after a year or two, you get that call when the 25-year-old is 27 and he is out of his 6th year of eligibility. And then you get to play for the UNC and Duke. And what that does is it ruins those little schools, and now we don't have any Cinderellas unless you're like a High Point team with magically keeps guys for 4 years, and that's like going to be one in every 10 mid-majors now that are in the NCAA tournament. And on top of all that, you're not going to have, which I grew up a Duke fan, so I never really had this, but other people, I'm sure, always had the hateable white guy from Duke that stayed 4 years. You had Christian Laettner, Grayson Allen, J.J. Redick. They were there forever, and you're not going to have that anymore. No one's going to stay that long, and you're right to get your bag. And, these kids, they don't know any better. Get them their money because they might not play college ball. But what made college basketball fun was those little teams that stayed together and slayed David in the NCAA tournament. And now you have a bunch of AAU teams that transfer every year. And you see with Auburn, it's a whole new roster this year. No one played together.
And the only guy we brought back was a guy who declared for the NBA draft and came back. Which I mean, in a different world, a few years ago, I don't think Tahad would have ever declared, because you do declare, you got to go kind of thing, and he would have stuck around. So, that wouldn't have been an issue. But you're right. The whole, the eligibility is what we're really talking about right now. Eligibility is the main issue. But also, transfer portal, NIL, everybody's just chasing a bag. We're not chasing development. I mean, some people do, but it's just few and far between. Not a good product anymore.
Brian, can you please, and it doesn't have, I know you're a busy guy, but what you just said was perfectly explained in terms of, the Cinderella runs before March Madness. Can you give us an article and have it titled "Death to the Cinderella"? Explain, or "Death to Cinderella." One, the clickbait on that would be fantastic. And two, I think you need to highlight everything you just explained because it's exactly right, man. It's death to the Cinderella, and that is why we love March. That is why we love March Madness, and it's we saw last year. All 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four. That's not supposed to happen, people, and it did. So, first, the clickbait with death to Cinderella would be unreal. And,
That would be unreal.
It has been a while since I've dusted off the keyboard here, but yeah, I think with football running down, I can put something together and I'll get that out.
But I mean,
You
also
might cop a
it's
season assist from Disney.
it'll be a good read because it truly is. No, I don't. Maybe people aren't, but nobody's talking about him. We'll probably, maybe if we see it again in this March, that like really no Cinderellas, like March Madness is going to lose its flair. It has.
It was definitely a topic. That was definitely a topic of conversation last year when all 4 1 seeds made it. And look, I'm an Auburn fan. I might be a little biased here, but those were the 4 best teams in college basketball last year. Like that was what the Final Four was supposed to be. And I actually thought that was for the best because we did get a phenomenal final product in those last 3 games. Having said that, that's one of the things that made college basketball so awesome. I don't give a shit that was what the best 4 teams were. I want to see Florida Gulf Coast in there. I want to see Dunk City.
Bryant and the Elite 8 knocking off Purdue.
And one of the things that let those 1 seeds get there was because, at least for Auburn and Houston's sake, that was a team that actually stayed together, and they were good, and they stayed together, so they were better. So they didn't flail out of March early. So you could kind of see that as a college athlete, college coach, and be like, and Houston still does this. Kelvin Sampson still is able to retain his talent year after year. Like, maybe it's worth it to stay.
Is that because they're buying into his system and they just want to stay there, or they're also getting paid, right? Like,
they are getting paid, but they're buying in and they want to win a
they
college.
get a lot more money elsewhere. Do you think?
Some of them probably, yeah.
Because they are still getting paid. So I just think, not to cut you off and jump down your throat, Brian, but I don't think like the whole like, oh, well, they're staying and they're buying it. It's like, well, they're still getting paid.
They are.
So if the guy's giving up an extra $5 million to stay with Sampson, okay, there's something there. But if it's like, hey, he's turning down $7 million to still make $6 million.
I'm sure Houston can match a
They're
lot
dishing
of
some bread out.
I'm sure they can match a lot of the deals that their boys get offered. But at the same time, Kelvin Sampson is definitely an anomaly in this game right now because he is one of those guys that people would go out of their way to go to Houston for less money to be coached by him, to win with him and just be developed by him. I mean, I really do think that he's probably, Brian, don't shoot me, but he might be the best coach of college basketball left.
That's why Jay Wright walked away. He didn't want to deal with this NIL nonsense.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Izzo's kind of on the back end.
Mark Few.
Mark Few, yeah, but he can't win the big one. I guess neither can Sampson.
Matt Painter.
No.
All right. Rick Pitino.
No.
Dan Hurley.
Brian's got way more
Dan
love.
Hurley. Dan Hurley.
Hurley.
All right, I can give it to Dan Hurley. Dude, Dan Hurley is the college basketball Kurt Sidnetti.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is unbelievable.
Dustin may be becoming the Kurt Sidnetti of college basketball. I know Michigan's had success with basketball, but he took FAU to the Final Four, and now he's got Michigan beating everybody by 30 points.
Yeah, he's
dominating.
That guy's a great recruiter. That's a guy you want. Like, hey, here's a fat bag of money. All we need is a good coach and somebody who can recruit. And that's just a perfect situation kind of coming together and now blooming what the Michigan Wolverines are. The 2 best teams in Michigan, Arizona. That on paper should be the national championship game.
Speaking of revenge games, Michigan, when they played Auburn, they were all pissed that Auburn only offered Yaxel like $1 million. They put it to the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn offered him?
I would be more
they offered
pissed.
him a bag of chips.
I would be more pissed if it was just us, but Michigan has beat everybody by 30 points so far.
Handed it to Nova.
They kept it close for the first 8 minutes. It was on the road, Brian.
Yeah, I guess Auburn only really kept it close for like the first 5, so you got them beat there.
Where was that Auburn-Michigan game? Was that Vegas?
Yeah, that was the Players Era tournament, which also that might have ruined college basketball a little bit because the Maui Invitational is gone now. But
there's a lot
much changing.
A lot we can get into there. All right, we got to hurry this up. Brian's got Wizards basketball to watch.
Yeah, I know. I've got. Never mind. NFL playoff picks. Who do we got?
did everybody loser?
My loser was also college basketball related, and we just spent 20 minutes on it. So
okay, that's fair enough. Let's get into some NFL football.
Woo!
If only we had the confidence picks theme going.
Well, I think these games deserve a little bit more time than our normal confidence picks, just because it's the playoffs.
Oh, I just wanted the theme music in the background.
I'll play it softly. All right, NFL playoffs are finally here, and we have some good games. One bad game, which we'll start with the Panthers at home, 10.5-point dogs against the Rams. Panthers actually started their franchise 6-3 in the playoffs. Now they're 9-8, and the last time they won a playoff game was with Cam in 2015. Not the longest drought of the playoff teams in this one. We'll get to the longest drought, but 30 players have never played a postseason game. Young team. Bryce Young still might not be it. They do have 6 guys that were on the Rams roster when they won in 2021.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a good amount of them, but that's pretty much they got them and then 20 other guys with playoff experience with 30 guys without it. The Rams just won playoff wins since they won that Super Bowl. But it feels like it's going to be all Rams.
Only because of they already played this year at that stadium. And was the spread similar? I don't know. Maybe it was more. No, it couldn't have been more. But
I think it was right around 10, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a game the Rams, I think, had no business losing, and they lost. So, with that being said, I'm going to take the Panthers plus 10.5 because that would be – is sacrilegious the right word? After doing that all, that would be sacrilegious if I said give me the Rams minus 10. So, I'll roll the Panthers plus 10.5. And do I have faith in that? It's tough for me to say yes, full-heartedly believing it. But one prop I really, really like in this game, and I think a lot of people aren't going to be looking at, is going to be Bryce Young under 30.5 passing attempts. It's gone under in 30 of the last 14 games. Only had 20 passing attempts versus the Rams in the regular season. Number set at 30.5. And I don't know. I think it seems like a low number because we know what the NFL is. But if you look at his stats, I mean, this guy does not have a lot of passing attempts. He does not rack it up in the yardage category. And I could see them leaning on Rico Dowdle to try and get something going here. So under 30.5 passing attempts has gone under that number in 11 of the last 14 games. Bryce Young was the starting quarterback.
I went back and watched this game, the regular season game, and you're right. The Rams had no business losing this game. It felt a lot like that Thursday night matchup they had against the 49ers, against Mac Jones and that banged-up team. Just no business losing this game. And I think that's going to help them this time around. They're not going to let it be close. I think this 10.5 is a good spread for them. I think they're going to win by double digits. I hope it's not 10. But I do think that they're going to cover this handedly because they know they need to. The last time they played the Panthers earlier this season, it was a closer game. They made a couple mistakes here and there, especially down the stretch, and they ended up losing. And I think that they put themselves in a position where that's not possible.
I do like the Bryce Young call. I think if Dave Canales is going to – he's obviously going to coach to win this game, but the best game plan he can have is run the ball with Rico and Chuba and kill clock and just try to establish some kind of line of scrimmage. I just keep going back to this is the early start on Saturday. I haven't looked at the announcing crew, but it feels like it's going to be like the C team. ESPN broadcast isn't going to be great. It feels like we're going to have the Rams scripted drive. They're going to take the ball because they lost.
Wait, this is ESPN on Saturday?
I think the first game is ESPN and then Prime is the night game.
I think it's Fox on Saturday at 4:30.
Now I got to look it up. But
ESPN only because
it doesn't matter.
ESPN had Saturday last week.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think Fox, because we talked about this. It's going to be Joe Davis and Olsen, and then Brady and Burkhart get Sunday at 4:30 for the Eagles.
You guys,
Come on,
your
Brian.
announcers and your networks.
Brian and I.
It is Fox.
I
Opinion.
4:30 over on me. No, you know how much I hate that freaking work, whatever.
Still doesn't change my opinion of what I think is going to happen to start this game. And that's going to be the Rams taking the ball because they lost the regular season, want to set the tempo, and they're going to go right down the field. Devontae Adams is back. He's going to catch a 1-yard fade in the end zone. Rams are going to go up 7-0. The Panthers are going to get the ball. You're going to see a false start, maybe a holding penalty, 3rd and long. Jared Verse kills Bryce Young, fumble, Kyron Williams touchdown, and it's 14-0 and the game's over before we know it. I don't see any other world where that's not how this game starts. So it just seems like a Rams bloodbath.
A little extra emphasis on that. Jared Verse kills Bryce Young.
Didn't even mean to do that, but that's just the
go.
subconscious Bama.
At least you have a great backstory to back it up.
I don't see it well. It sounds like, Matt, I know you have to take the Panthers.
I have to take the Panthers, guys. I mean, this has been since May.
Yeah.
What's that? It's going to be fuck. I'm not going to quick how many months has it been. But it's been since May. And we're in January.
8.
I ain't doing math.
All right. Well, that's that game. Packers Bears. I know both these teams are kind of limping into the playoffs. I said in the last show that their last win, the Packers' last win's against the Bears. Bears' last win's against the Packers. On paper, though, they're both two good teams that could, if things go right, win the Super Bowl. They're probably not going to, but you can't really see a world where the Panthers win the Super Bowl. You can see a world where both the Bears and the Packers do. And some further hope for these fans. They're 1-1 against each other all time in the playoffs. The Bears only win. They won the championship, 1941 NFL championship. The Packers only win. They beat the Bears in 2010 NFC championship, won the Super Bowl that year. So, if the trend holds, the winner of this game is winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no. No. I do think that this is I do think this is going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. But no, neither of these teams are winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this is
Did
the first.
turn go from you say the Bears are winning the Super Bowl?
So the last time the Bears beat the Packers in the playoffs, they won the championship. The last time the Packers beat the Bears in the playoffs, they won the Super Bowl. And that's the only time they played.
Okay, Brian.
So this is also the first time the Bears have been in the playoffs, or first time they've been in the playoffs since 2018. They haven't won a playoff game since 2010. It's the longest drought of any of these playoff teams.
Who was that 2010 quarterback? Was that like Rex Grossman?
Yep.
It had to be Grossman.
2018 was Trubisky.
That was when Hester took the kickback?
Yes.
On the opening kickoff?
That might have been 2009.
Jay Cutler never got one?
No.
It's crazy. He's the GOAT.
Trubisky should have had one, but Cody Parkey, War Eagle, double doinked in Lincoln Financial Field.
That would, first of all, that was on the road. Second of all, the Bears were never winning that Super Bowl.
No, they would a playoff win. They haven't had a playoff win since 2010.
I thought you were saying Super Bowl. I was like, Mitch Trubisky was not carrying that team to a Super Bowl.
But they should have had that win.
That was double doink, and then the next round, Alshon dropped a I'm not getting into that. It's 2025.
But yeah, either way, both these teams, although I did say you can kind of convince yourself into them making a run, I don't see it that way. I do think the Packers get a win on the road.
I like the Packers money line. I don't have a prop here. Give me the Packers on the money line. Not biased because I want the Eagles to have a second round home game, but give me the Packers on the money line.
I'm going with the Bears. I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Ben Johnson this year, and I love the way that this team can run the football. I don't expect a big barn burner game. I don't think that Jordan Love is, we didn't have him too high on our QB trust playoff meter or whatever. I'm not that big on him. I'm not that big on LaFleur, which I've talked about. I think Josh Jacobs in the running game have been awful this year.
Jacobs is on one leg.
whatever your excuse is, yeah, it's looked terrible. And then, what do you look at the Packers and say you like about them? Their defense, and even there, they lost their star player. So I struggle to see how the Packers are really going to make a run and, quite honestly, even win a game. I'm taking the Bears.
Here's why I'm interested. Back when they played a couple weeks ago, that game was at Soldier Field? I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both recently.
Was that Soldier
The
Field?
overtime game was Soldier Field.
Yes. And the Bears were minus 125 on the money line. That's now flipped. Packers are now minus 1.5. I don't know what their money line is, but I think that's interesting how 2-3 weeks ago it was Bears to win outright, right? Before the game, before they had the crazy comeback at the end, before it went to overtime, whatever. Now, before the game, same venue, playoff, sure. Bears should be favored, no? Why are the Packers favored? I don't know. Where you live in a day and age where you got to watch the lines, and Packers minus 1.5 is a weird line. Weird line. I think the Packers somehow find a way to pull it out.
I also never ranked Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we missed
a couple quarterbacks.
Two quarterbacks.
I think everything got overshadowed by Trevor Lawrence being over Josh Allen. But
yeah, and that's where I was going next. Do you think that this line is weirder than the Bills-Jags line, which the Bills are favored by 1.5 points in Jacksonville?
No, I think the Bills probably just because everybody is going to be all over Josh Allen and they're going to highlight the quarterback matchup, which people will disregard the last 4, 5, 6 weeks of what Lawrence has done and what Allen's done. I think all that's out the window. And you have the Bills who have been there, not done that, but they've been there. And you have a Jacksonville team that has a rookie head coach, Trevor Lawrence. Nobody saw this coming from the guy. So I think that's the right number. Do I think the Bills will win or cover that? No, not necessarily. Do I think they could? Yes. But this is going to be, this to me is the biggest toss up of the weekend.
I think that's what you just outlined there is a lot of the reason we see the spread in this game. And say what you want about LaFleur and Jordan Love, but they've been there in the playoffs. And then you have Caleb Williams, who we haven't seen, and Ben Johnson, who last memory we have of him in the playoffs is not giving the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs and getting blitzed by Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Yeah, no, good point.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, it has to be the inexperience. Like that's what this line has to be.
Absolutely
stroking right here. But I mean, we're talking about a Packers team and Jordan Love who have beaten the Cowboys in the playoffs. Like, who are we talking about?
Yeah, for me that line's super weird, but it's still like I know Josh Allen has no help, but like it's just he literally can account for being favored by 1 point, I think.
Yeah. Well, we can get into that. I will be taking a Trevon Diggs interception in the Packers-Bears game. New guy, Caleb Williams, feels like he'll throw at least one in his first playoff game, so why not? Jack, I'm going to hand the floor off to you in 1 second, and this is not hate. I'm with you on this Jaguars playoff run.
All right, before we get there, I just got to say real quick, Caleb Williams has done a very good job at not turning the ball over this year. Continue.
Yes, but that's not in the playoffs. All right, Josh Allen. He lost his first playoff game to Deshaun Watson as a rookie. Since then, he's 7-0 in the playoffs against everybody not named Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. He's 0-4 against Mahomes, 0-1 against Burrow. He's 7-0 against everyone else. On the Jaguars side, they're 8-8 in the playoffs. It's the 9th time they've been there. And they have at least one playoff win 6 of the times they've been to the playoffs. So 6 out of 8 times they've won at least one game.
I literally have it in my notes, and I'll get it right over to you here quick, Jack, but I have it in my notes. Super tough game to pick. I don't even think I have a game pick. I have a prop, but I don't even have a winner pick for this one because I think it is, like I just said, the toughest one to pick.
It's the Jaguars. The Jaguars are winning this football game. In Duval, I will be there. I will be screaming my head off. Like I understand Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's coming off of an MVP season. He has been him for, 5 years now? I get it. But look at what he's done all season. And then look at what Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars team has done all season. Like, the Bills and the Jags are not on the same page. They're really not. There's only a few teams that can compete with Jacksonville in this league right now, and the Bills are not one of them. I feel like that's all I really need to say.
I'm not disagreeing. I just think there's a different level of intensity, a different level of pressure, a different level of emotion, a different level of anxiousness, a different level of nervousness when it comes to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jaguars have not experienced that. And it's like, it feels like they had this great year. Lawrence is back. Liam Cohen's the guy. Everything's going. But like, we see it a lot where it's like, okay, this is their first time, but Allen's been there 7 times or whatever, how many times. So it feels like it would go the Bills' way. Because like the Jags will just come back next year. Like, this is their first shot. Why do they get it on their first shot? You know what I mean? You could throw back to Chargers when they beat Brandon Staley, okay. But like Allen, like, I don't know. Does that not make sense? I feel like that's
keep coming back to.
That's what I can't get over that.
Now or never for Josh Allen.
Right. And Lawrence, like he kind of bought himself at more time. This isn't going to be dumpster fire if they lose this game.
Look, I totally agree with everything that you two just said. But we have to be realistic. Like, y'all are living in hypotheticals. We have to be realistic. Sure, it might be Josh Allen's last shot, but it's one of his worst shots. Like, this team is not good. Their defense is not good. Their offensive game, they can run the ball. James Cook is phenomenal. Josh Allen is the best. He can throw it. He can run it. But guys can't even catch it over there. So I'm not worried. Again, I'm hearing all about it all week. You too as well. I get it. Josh Allen is him. This is his time to shine. There's no Mahomes for him to deal with. Doesn't matter. They're not good. The Bills are not good enough. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars game to win, and we're going to do it.
Let me be clear. I'm not saying Bills are winning the Super Bowl here. It's more. It's just like, and not even like the it's now or never. It's more of like, it's just what I just highlighted of like the difference of NFL playoffs. Lawrence hasn't been there in years. Cohen, first time, like there's just, I know I'm not a Sean McDermott guy, but I do think playoff experience to that level, like, is an advantage. And it's not a knock. It's not a knock on the Jaguars. It's just like what my brain is telling me. I'm not trying to like piss you off by having that opinion.
It's fair. It's fair.
Just where my brain is going on this game. I'd say the same thing if it was, if some other random team went on a run, if whoever went on a run and it was Josh Allen on the road.
I'm going to say something a little out of pocket, and I might have to regret it, but I think the Bills are closer to the Steelers than they are the Jaguars this year. I think this team coming into Jacksonville is closer to the Steelers than they are the Jaguars.
I'll one up you.
Allen,
I'll one up you. I think the Steelers get a playoff win and the Jaguars don't.
That would be wild.
How about those apples?
That would be a shock to my system.
I mean, I agree with the Bills aren't good, but Josh Allen is good enough to win a game by himself. The Steelers don't have that. And I know we've been talking about Trevor Lawrence, and I love what Trevor Lawrence is doing, and he's playing like the MVP of the league, but he hasn't really proven to me yet that he can go out with a bad team and win a game by himself like Josh Allen has.
Well, he doesn't have a bad team.
He doesn't have to, but like that is still what's in the back of my mind. Like Josh Allen can't go and win 4 games in a row by himself. They're probably not going to win the Super Bowl.
But he can win one. Eke out a game in Jacksonville. Exactly. And I was on the sideline the whole time, so I can have these opinions. But Brian trusts Trevor Lawrence this weekend over Josh Allen, by the way.
I do
agree with that. Look, I can agree with that Josh Allen can't, he can win one game on his own, sure. But Not against the Jacksonville, like, against a bad team or a mediocre team, sure, maybe. Not against the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's not a hole on this team right now.
See, this is the perfect spot for Jacksonville and why I have faith in them to go out and hoist the Lombardi trophy, because I think they can lose this game. But if they win this game, it's you beat Josh Allen, you slayed that dragon, and I don't think there's a better quarterback they're going to have to face until a possible Super Bowl. And that's why I have so much faith in Jacksonville. They just have to get past this game. And I'm praying and hoping they do with you, Jack. But Josh Allen scares me.
The disrespect on Bo Nix is just unreal.
Yeah, Brian, see, exactly what you just said right there is actually what goes through my head, but I don't let people know that.
Yeah.
Wait for bringing it up.
It's tough when you know that all you have to do is get past the wall and the rest is just a rose field.
Just climb the fence, get to the other side, and boy, you got yourself a swimming pool rest of the night. All you.
They have their own swimming pool in the stadium too, right?
Hell yeah.
I'll take
a
they
dip
did.
in there. Don't tempt me.
Oh, Jack, we need a drunk Jack after a win in the Trevor Bank Stadium swimming pool.
Get yourself a waterproof phone case.
End of that game.
Some goggles.
End of that game, the liquid in there will be half beer and piss.
Yeah, I've not
More
gone.
like 80%.
I've never gone into those pools, and I really never plan on it.
They have
but
to be so gross.
so gross.
Think
I
we'll
would
see Blake
go.
Bortles at the game, possibly in the pool.
How does that work in the pool?
Oh.
There? Like you just bring your bathing suit and anybody can go in? I mean, it's not that big.
No, it's like a
Yeah.
roped off.
You have
It's
to
like
have
a
a special ticket.
Yeah,
VIP
yeah.
pool access.
You got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have like a VIP ticket.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can like. I'm pretty sure you can just get them on like StubHub or whatever it is, Ticketmaster. One of those seats, or maybe you have to like call and it's like
Are they slinging
almost like
TPs? Some pool passes on StubHub?
Don't say slinging PPs, Brian. But it's cool. It's like a Vegas or Miami like pool club, like one of those cabanas where you get like this whole tent, like a big white tent, and like tables and chairs under it, and you put your swim trunks there and all that good stuff, all your other clothes. So it's pretty cool. It's on like a concourse. They got food and drinks up there. It's actually like I like that area of the stadium, just to like be up there and chill during like halftime or something like that. So I'll take a picture from 10 feet away for you guys if you want.
All right. Can we get a cannonball?
No, I'm not getting in there.
All right. That's fine.
Maybe I can pay some kid $5 to do a cannonball and get a video for you.
There you go. I'll be expecting it.
Actually, I got a feeling they probably kick people out if they do cannonballs there.
I can't imagine it's very deep.
It's not. It's like 3.5, 4 feet.
All right. My other Super Bowl future that I'm feeling much less confident about. It's the 49ers. They're traveling to Matt's Eagles. Eagles looking to become the second back-to-back champion in the last 20 years. They'd become the 9th ever team to do it. 10th time it would ever happen overall. The Steelers did it twice.
Would definitely have to be the first time that a team goes back-to-back and then another team goes back-to-back right after.
Hey, we'll take it. But yeah, man, it's time. It's playoff football in Philadelphia. I'm going to give you guys my 5 keys to victory this Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to start with number 1, and it's going to be dominate the run game with Saquon Barkley. I think they need to feed him early and often. 49ers defense ranks near the bottom in run defense, allowed the second highest rushing success rate this season. Controlling the clock and wearing down the injury-depleted front, I think, will set the tone. Also, Lane Johnson practice today should be back. Number 2, unleashing the pass rush on Brock Purdy. If Trent Williams is out, they're going to have nobody. This Eagles D-line is unbelievable. I think they're going to be able to get to him early and often. If you get Purdy into 3rd and longs, it's going to disrupt Kyle Shanahan's play action scheme that he likes to run and get involved with, that'll totally throw them for a loop. So number 2, unleashing the pass rush on Brock Purdy. Number 3, exploit the secondary. You have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. San Francisco's pass defense ranks extremely poor. Target the weekend coverage. We just watched Caleb Williams put up almost 40 points on the road. And I think there's no reason why this offense can't. And I know they have been not great. I know Kevin Patullo is the talk of disaster for the last whatever weeks because of the offense. But you need to find a way to exploit the secondary with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Number 4, you got to win the turnover battle. When you win the turnover battle, especially the Philadelphia Eagles, you win football games. Force turnovers. It's a banged-up 49er offense. You got to contain McCaffrey. But Vic Fangio's defense ranks top 5 in points allowed and can stifle big plays if they just maintain the discipline. Stay home. We've seen this defense play elite and top tier, especially to close out the year. So win the turnover battle. I wouldn't be surprised we see maybe a Purdy pick or 2 on Sunday. And finally, the most important one, the most obvious one, leverage the home field advantage. You're at the Link. It's Lincoln Financial Field. The crowd's going to be rowdy. They're up for this game. The Eagles 16-3, their last 19 at home. Provides a huge edge. It keeps the team aggressive. It keeps the team jacked up. I think with those 5 things, there's zero way you lose this game. So those are my 5 keys to a victory on Sunday. And if they at least just, follow those 5, the Eagles come out with a decisive cover the spread, but win by a touchdown or more on Sunday at 4:30.
I love that.
How about number 6, wear the Kelly Greens?
I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they came out with what they're going to do, but yeah.
Matt, I love that, and here's why. That was a very detailed way of saying we are a better football team. Go out and win the fucking game. I mean, it is that simple. The Eagles are still a really, really good football team, extremely talented, way more talented than this 49ers team with all of their injuries. Trent Williams or not, the Eagles should win this football game by a touchdown. Don't beat yourselves. I mean, right. All of those ways to help you win, but just don't beat yourself. And there's no reason they shouldn't move on to the next round.
100%. We get a Packers win, and then boom, we're right back at the Link.
Double it up at the Link.
That'd be electric. But yeah, those are my keys to victory, keys to the road to victory.
I just searched Trent Williams injury on Google to just get an update here. And the first story from 49ers Wire.
I don't think he practiced today.
49ers first playoff injury update is a disaster. So no Trent Williams at practice, no Ricky Pearsall at practice. They're really limping into the Link.
Is Kittle back to practicing?
I mean, he played last week.
He could have played last week.
No, he did play last week. He got hurt in the game.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He'll.
I think he had like 4 for actually, I don't know if this was this week or not, but I think he may have had 4 for 100 yards and then got hurt. That may have been 2 weeks ago, though.
So Coach Kyle Shanahan said Trent Williams' hamstring that he hurt is still bothering him. I'm looking for a Kittle update.
And we don't have to look too hard, but yeah, I mean they've got a couple guys that are out for the whole season and a couple guys that are gonna be limping into this game. Again, Philly is just the better team. They need to win.
Kittle was limited, so he'll probably play. But if Philly should win this game, it's terrifying. I feel like I threw $20 and burned it on fire.
Yeah, kind of did.
What did you do, Brian?
I bet the Niners to win the Super Bowl before the Seahawks game.
So that's
worst case scenario
happened.
happened.
The Eagles. That's great for the Eagles.
Yeah, great for the Eagles. But
that's better than the ref stat.
There were 3 scenarios, and I was hoping for 2 of them that either we had the 1 seed or the Niners would play the Panthers, and it ended up them going to Philly. It's nightmare
Brian
scenario.
fades.
Yeah, I mean,
be careful, Jack. Like I said, I'm with you on Jaguars.
Just please put a
That
bet
is-
on the Bills. Please
that
put
is
a bet on the
really-
Bills, Brian.
That is so true, Jack. Brian is all week. Trust Trevor more. He's with you on the Jat. Wow.
If something
That would keep me up
happens,
for the next couple nights. That
something
would keep
happens
me up.
this Sunday that I don't like, Brian. Instead of coming back to Charleston to home, I'm gonna come straight up to DC and kick down your front door.
Please. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, miss you, bud. All right. Chargers going to New England.
Yeah, Chargers haven't won a playoff game since 2018. New England, Hitler alive. They're back. I mean, I think we said it on the last podcast. I don't really care for this game or the Texans-Steelers game. The last two, I could kind of care less.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in this game just because I want to know how the Pats are going to look in a playoff situation just because we haven't seen Drake May do that yet. And I know it's the Chargers and they are a struggling team, especially offensively, but defensively, their defense has kept them in some games. So maybe they'll show up. Maybe they'll give the Pats a run for their money. I don't expect it, but I hope so. Because I'd love that second home game too.
Yeah, this is actually my favorite bet on the whole slate. Just Patriots -3 or 3.5, whatever it is. I don't see this being close.
Yeah, I get it down. I always love, taking the win by 3. So Pats -2.5, probably decent juice. That's perfect for me. I agree with you, Brian. It's up there. I like that. And would that be buying a couple points or selling points to take the Eagles -6.5 if the spread's already 4.5?
You're selling.
Let's tell them.
Yeah, give me some more value. I'll what's that? Addition where you carry the number over, PEMDAS, whatever the hell you want to call it. Where I'll take the points from the Patriots game and I'll add them to the Eagles spread.
There you go.
No worry about Jake Elliott missing an extra point there.
6.5.
Might want to do the 5.5.
Maybe 5.5. We'll see. I'm not worried.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to. I haven't been giving out these props, dude. All right, I don't think I had a prop for that, but I know this is totally random, but I love, Jack will probably hate it. Travis Etienne Jr. under 64.5 rushing yards, I think is a great play. I think Buffalo has a stingy run defense, and I think they keep them under that number. I think 64.5 is a big number. I think they're going to. That too. 60. Etienne's not a bruiser for me.
He's
64.5 is a big number. He could have 50 yards rushing, and that's a great game for him.
He's the one to break one, though. He's the one to break a nice little 30-yard run and blows up that under immediately.
Maybe.
Look, I don't hate it because, especially lately, we've been telling Trevor Lawrence, brother, go sling that rock, and he's been doing a phenomenal job at it. The running game, which was huge for us to start the season, is definitely taken a step back in light of our offensive attack taking a step up. So I don't know how to feel about that. I could go either way on his running yards. I think that we're really going to try to establish the run with him. But like Brian said, maybe it's him and Tootin. Maybe it's just a whole lot of passing. Maybe it's Trevor Lawrence. Maybe we don't get the lead that I'm thinking, and Trevor does have to throw the ball 45, 50 times. So, man, I don't know, Matt. I don't know.
Better reaction than I thought I was going to get, but I will take Etienne under 64.5 rush yards. I think that could potentially be a sharp play, or it could blow up. We'll see.
I like it. For what it's worth.
We don't know what that means yet, Brian.
Yeah.
All right.
Last
Texans,
game.
Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers probably his last ride. He'll try to help Pittsburgh win their first playoff game since 2015. The Texans are 6-2 in wildcard games in franchise history. They've never won a divisional round game.
Yeah, so for some reason, I don't know why I thought the Chargers were playing Pittsburgh. That's why I was like, Pittsburgh gets 1-0 and Jaguars go 0-1. And then I saw the bottom of the outline.
That
and,
makes way more sense.
yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Chargers and Pitt, but yeah, Texans. I don't know how. I don't know how they lose this game. I don't know how they lose this game. I really don't.
Hottest team in football.
Oh.
I don't know how they lose this game. It's a tough one to pick, though. I mean, like 3 points at Pittsburgh. You never know. Again, playoff, there's just a different feel about it. Throw regular season out the door. It's a different thing. So I think I originally put I like Steelers +3 because, I thought it was a different opponent. But I will leave picking the game out. What I do like regardless, which I don't know why I took Steelers +3. I really don't, because I took this prop. I do think it's going to be low scoring. I do think that with the Texans defense and Steelers defense is okay, not great.
What
but
is the total? It's like 40,
I don't know.
40 and a half, maybe. I have a feeling it's going to be a low line.
Got to be low.
I think it's going to be a low scoring contest, and I'm not going over under on the game total. I'm going to be taking the over on Kaimi Fairbairn, over 1.5 field goals made. And I know that's a little risky after what we saw last week, but I think that'll keep people away. I think people will probably hammer this under. This is hit at like a bunch of games, 80% of the games this year for the Texans. Fairbairn, over 1.5 field goals made. I think it's a low-scoring game, which projects for a lot of field goal attempts. And I just think Fairbairn can make 2 field goals. I just really do. I like it a lot.
39.5.
I think there's a lot of value in Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals. What do you guys think?
Nailed it.
I'm
with you there. I like that bet. I like that bet for sure.
It's their best player.
Brian, thoughts?
It's their best player.
2 field goals? It's not asking a lot.
It's really not.
Their best special teams player?
It's their best player. Well, I mean, I guess Nico Collins is their best. He's their second best player. Third best player.
Am I the only one who's just still a
Brian,
CJ Stroud guy? I know Jack hasn't been, but I thought Brian was
better than Will Anderson. He's better than Derek Stingley.
Kaimi Fairbairn is better than Derek Stingley and Will Anderson Jr.
Jack, I'm hungry. I want to eat dinner. Don't take the rage bait, please.
Fuck off, Brian. I gotta go eat too.
All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on Monday. Tuesday. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Go Jack.